talking about Chicago. Our guy, Chris Altruda from Sports Handle, put this out yesterday or
How
today.
about this?
The over-under bar in Chicago looking to go plus size. 2 years after opening on the north side of the city, Ed Berry has expansion on his mind. I read the article, but I'm curious before we get to Chris, what jumped off the page to you, off the screen to you when it came to this bar?
The ambassador jobs. The ambassador jobs. And I want to ask Chris about why this is going to be different. And is that Chris right now?
Chris on the show right now. Chris Altruda from Sports Handle and US Bets joining us. Chris, I'm hoping I'm saying your last name right. How are you? Welcome to BvB.
You're doing well with it, and appreciate you letting me be on with you guys.
Chris, it's great to see you.
Thank you.
We're talking about this bar in this article that you wrote. Have you been in this joint?
Yes, I've been in there at least 3 times, possibly as many as 5 or 6 times over the past.
Is it like a Vegas sports book? Or like paint a picture for the people, and we'll refer them to the article and all this other. But you were there. Tell us what it's like.
It's a little bit of yes and no. No, in the sense that there is not an over large board of odds.
Okay.
Yes, in the sense it is technology intensive, that there's a bunch of television screens that have both games going on, and there's a dedicated group of screens that post live odds.
Oh.
And in this case, because Ed is a FanDuel affiliate, it's FanDuel odds. So they rotate through the screens, and then there's a thing that explains the sign up with the QR code that the betting ambassador can come help the person with. And the other thing is, and this to me was the bigger thing, is that Ed's thing is big on technology. And he's able to pretty much at the drop of a hat on his phone, switch a game on a screen so that the betting ambassador who's in control of that screen, when he goes to other places, can pull up the screen with the game that the person is debating. And as you walk through the sign-up process, then walk through the advice of what do you want to bet on? Here's some statistical information on the game, and goes that way.
Wow. Okay. So that's a full-time job, like at a place like Circa with all those screens. They call that, I forget the media retention. I forget what it's called, but it's a full-time job trying to figure out which screens go with which. So this person, the ambassador, can control that screen, right?
Yes. So what he does in his location primarily is set up the day's events, and then as he needs to, he can do it. What he wants to do is send the ambassadors out externally to other bars around the city. And essentially retrofit them based on the number of screens they have. That he'll set up the game menu. He'll set up the odds menu on a different set of screens, and then that ambassador has the control of that thing, taking the bar manager out of the equation.
Whoa!
And do their job, so the ambassador can do his or her job.
Okay, go ahead, Matt. I'm curious. Where's the stat lines coming from? Like, who are they pulling the information from to give to the consumer?
So the ambassador's job is to one, have that knowledge readily available. So to them, they're working however they do their sourcing for information. Their odds are provided by FanDuel.
So I sit down at a bar.
Right.
I game's on. I order my food. I order my drink. Some person's going to walk up to me and say, "Can I help you find things to bet?"
No. The person asks for help.
Okay.
The biggest thing, one of the things he told me is that the ambassador does not tell you who to bet. It's mainly to provide information that helps you decide how you want to bet.
Interesting. And then use a FanDuel promo code to go download the FanDuel app.
If you don't have it already, yes.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So if you have it already, they don't get the kickback for getting the account.
They don't get that, but what the other half of the equation is what he's done is he's essentially gamified the process where you do make these wagers, and he's cleared it with FanDuel Legal and all that stuff, is that you get a raffle ticket for X amount of dollars you wager.
So brilliant.
And you win that, then you get a portion of that back towards your deposit that goes back into your account.
But you're making real money wagers, right?
Yes.
So Dave, did This is a book called The Scarcity Brain by Michael Easter, which I just finished, which is there's like chapters on this, on the world being gamified and how Vegas figured out how to gamify everything and how the human brain operates, where even if you lose, if you win small, you feel like you've walked away as a winner. The human brain tricks you into thinking that even though he said, losing while winning, I think is how he describes it.
Right.
The human brain thinks that, oh, wait, I won a raffle ticket, so this is my double chance. So if I lose $100, but I get a $25 whatever, I won. It's like the thing we went to with the kids, right?
Right.
You
Same
put 60
thing.
bucks
Right.
out, you get 10 bucks in stuffed animals back, and the kids feel like they won something.
So, Chris, is this an exclusive at this joint to just FanDuel?
Yes, originally when he opened
Wow.
2 years ago, he was not an affiliate, so he was just open, and he used a Canadian company. I believe it's Skynet or something
Okay.
like that.
Skynet?
Yeah.
Skynet,
Whoa,
something,
really?
something with the sky. I remember that much. But it was a Canadian-based company, and it provided all the odds when
Right.
he first opened. He eventually went with FanDuel as his affiliate. So right now it's a FanDuel essentially based bar.
That's very
Wow.
interesting. So he gets probably an affiliate fee
Yes.
for every person that signs up, obviously.
Yes.
But he doesn't. I would be surprised if he got a percentage of the handle.
Well, no,
from
that's why you have the gamification process.
Yeah, so he
Right.
keeps it in-house, David. It doesn't go out, but he says, hey, you bet $100. Every $100 you get a raffle ticket. At the end of the day, I'm going to raffle off an autographed Wayne Gretzky jersey or whatever the hell he wants to auction off at the end.
Or I
Or-
read.
But right now that's part of it, but it also is some of it goes back into the account. So there is a replenishing of sorts into
Right.
the account as well.
Right.
as
So
potential prize.
you win a raffle.
Is it
Pete
real
rolls for
money, or is
money
it bonus
to
bets?
put back in your
I
bonus?
did not ask that specific question.
Yeah.
with him.
Because David, it has to be bonus
It would
bets,
lead
right?
me to believe it's bonus bets because
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, it couldn't be real money.
that enters a tax
Correct.
question. So
Right.
Yeah,
That
Correct.
enters- the book has a tax problem if that's real money that gets put back into the account.
100%. Yeah. It's
but no,
bonus.
it was funny because as he kept tweaking and tweaking, he kept going back and back to legal. And he said usually the turnaround time was usually 4 to 5 weeks. But each time he brought something to them.
Oh, the
4 to
lawyers are
5
unbelievable.
weeks.
The lawyers always win. 4 to 5 weeks to answer 2 questions so I could get these people. Oh, it's crazy.
But this over-under bar, is
Yes.
this something that like needs to be seen? Is this like something, if I'm coming to town, should I be going and
Yes.
checking this thing out?
I think so. On a Friday and Saturday, it'll be busy. And also, if you get there Saturday, depending on what time the Blackhawks game is, you could probably catch one of the Final Four games there.
Oh,
And I mean, when I first went there 2 years ago, and Ed is a very big thinker. He has an expansive mind for us. He used to work at CBS in
okay.
Interactive.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And
It was ahead of it, right?
he continues to be ahead of it. One of the other things we talked about with this model, should it work, is that it essentially forces a sportsbook to go from customer acquisition to customer retention. And at some point, that metric is going to become valuable because sooner or later, you're going to run out of people to sign up.
Yeah. It's happening now
Right.
in the actual real life. This is what books are running into. And you hit a couple of the buzzwords there. The other buzzword that's going on is gamification.
Right.
They're turning this thing, the sports book, and like you and the other writers at Sports Center, you guys do such a great job. I'm just glad we finally got to have you on the show and meet you. But we refer to these stories all the time, and it keeps coming up. Gamification. Right. Can you explain that to a newbie, or somebody that's watching the show for the first time and going, what the hell is he talking about?
The biggest thing about gamification is that you're involved. That at the end of the day is the biggest thing. You may walk into over under for the first time, and sports betting may not be for you in general. But at the same time, if you're having contests at the bar, you can participate, and you're part of it. You don't necessarily have to have 5 bets going at one time, and you're watching 4 different screens, and you have the ADD going, so you're
Right.
just bouncing like this, looking at 42 different
Been there.
screens.
Yeah.
So the gamification process is inclusive, and that's the big part about it. You may go with a group of 7 here, and you may have the 1 in 7 who has either A, no desire, or B, no idea what's going on, but that's how you include them in it.
Right.
Yeah, I used to do that. I mean, this is the modern day way of getting somebody to stay in their seat. Like when I worked in Des Moines and Omaha, every Tuesday night I hosted a trivia night at Hooters, and they would show me their Wednesday ticket and their Tuesday ticket, and they would show that literally by 10 or 12x every week, Tuesday was bigger than Wednesday because people stayed for 2 hours just to play trivia, and they would just order different beers, they order more food, they watch the games just to be involved with it. So if you can find a way to keep people in their seat and keep, well, I got to stay for the raffle. I've been here for an hour and a half. I got to wait for that raffle, and that raffle ends in 35, 40 minutes. Well, okay, give me 2 more rounds or give me some more food. It's brilliant. And then you talking about the connection to FanDuel. Do you think he wants to take this over-under idea national? Would it work in other legal states?
Yes. One of the things was that he didn't put the technology piece together until he started visiting other cities, thinking about expansion with the ambassadors. His technological background helps, gives him an advantage in the sense that he knows how to put an entire television lineup and the informational lineup that he gets from the odds information from FanDuel, and then the other pieces of information he gets from various sources all together that he can control on his phone. And it's an impressive pull together of that. And how he teaches that to the ambassadors, I would love to actually sit there and maybe learn it myself one day.
Yeah.
Because it looks to be a very involved process. But he did stress the idea of trying to bring it to a national level. He's going to use Chicago, I think, as a testing ground.
Right.
And there's no lack of places here.
Yeah, that's perfect. We're going to have to meet Ed at some point. You may have to make an introduction, because if he needs content for a show, we're on people's phones all over the place. Or if he wants to do some other stuff with content, we can go to the bars and do the show and bring people in, and then they can get them all signed up. Keep that in mind. Put that in your back pocket, Chris. You get the commission for the whole deal. That'd be outstanding.